us, her family back home in Seattle, want to thank all of you for coming today. Marilyn made a huge impact on the community and the film industry. It's truly amazing how many of you came out today to celebrate her life. So thank you very much. As Marilyn's family, we didn't get to see the whole life Marilyn had in Oahu with all of you. You guys got to know Marilyn in many ways than we did. We would like to share a few things about Marilyn that maybe you did not know. Marilyn was born and raised in Seattle, Washington, in the beautiful neighborhood of Ballard. She had two loving parents, Vern and Helen Mick, and a younger sister, Patty. She graduated from the University of Washington with a bachelor's degree in economics. Marilyn was always very involved in politics and the community. She developed a passion for photography, which led her in many wonderful directions. She was known to be a part of many rallies or movements, especially supporting civil or human rights.
Hey, what did you get doused back there, gang? With the sprinklers? See, that's typical Marilyn. That's her way of sharing with us or telling us the crucial importance of having a proper locations manager. So, thank you, Marilyn. She's definitely here. If you feel a breeze on you today, a lovely breeze, that's her, and wrapping you with a hug. I would like to call upon Liza Simon for her eulogy. Aloha, Liza.
Thank you, thank you. Oh boy, take a look around. This is the family of Marilyn. It's a very unconventional family, put together by the love, care, courage, and compassion of Marilyn, Mick. And so, of course, it's gonna be an unconventional family. I'm a friend of Marilyn, so I speak today as a friend of Marilyn. And I got some stories to tell because, if anything, Marilyn was just a raging river of stories about people. So, yeah, to know Marilyn is to know a doer and a dreamer who lived most of her life alone, but she swore she was never lonely because she had this righteous sense about the value of authentic human connection. Illustration, story number one. One of our favorite friendship activities was just strolling around Kapiolani Park. It was like accompanying someone who was like part mayor of the park and part mythic trickster like Spider Lady Arachne, who could just check the vibe when she ran into folks and weave connections. I remember one time, one epic afternoon, when I thought I only had about 2 hours to hang out with her. So we come to the park, and right away we run into some of her peeps from the very popular community garden. And there's a young woman there, looked very out of sorts, obviously houseless. She had a shopping cart with her. And Marilyn notices right away that in the cart was a biography of Gandhi. So she picks it up, and she starts into this conversation with this young woman. And it was so non-patronizing. It was so equal. Another kind of person would have thought, where did you steal the book from, or whatever. But no, Marilyn right away connected with this young woman, and she did at one point. I mean, they were jumping off into the weeds about Mahatma Gandhi, and they both seemed to agree that Gandhi, in this book, it was revealed that there were a lot of contradictions in his nonviolent philosophy, basically. And at some point, the young woman says that she found the book in a laundromat. And Marilyn goes, "Oh, which laundromat?" And she mentions it, somewhere over here off Campbell Street. And the woman walks away then, takes her cart, and I'm looking at Marilyn like, she seems so interested in the young woman. And I said, and she said to me, yeah, actually, that was my book. I've been leaving books in the laundromat, thinking, wishing, hoping that people who normally don't go to the library or don't have access to books or don't have library cards or can't go to Barnes and Noble with their Barnes and Noble, a rewards card or anything, they would have access to some of her great books. So she got her wish. She got her wish just by putting out good vibes. She lived the way she was gonna die. She died the way she lived, knowing and appreciating, looking for, seeking, speaking, loving the truth. Thank you very much. Love you for being here.
Mahalo, mahalo. Wow, we're learning so much more about our dear sister and friend, Marilyn. Mahalo. I'd like to introduce Yumi, a dear friend of Marilyn. She's going to come up and do a lovely hula for everyone and for Marilyn.
My name is Yumi. I've been Marilyn's friends maybe for 18 years. And I have to say, at least for the last 16 years, Marilyn is my friend with whom I spend my time most. So I really miss her. But through her, I met a lot of old friends, new friends. So I hope we can keep in touch after Marilyn's gone. And you know a lot of things about Marilyn. And I think the connection between me and Marilyn is the love for the music, but also the love and passion for Cuba. I'm a percussionist. I'm a conga player. I don't look like it, but I love Cuban music. So I started going to Cuba in 2014. And Marilyn told me she wants to go Cuba. She said she wanted to go Cuba for 40 years. I told her, I don't believe you, Marilyn. If you really wanted to go for 40 years, what you were doing. But she said, well, I'm American, da, 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 da. But anyway, in 2017, the year Marilyn turned 70, I took her to Cuba. And her wish was to visit Che Guevara's memorial in Santa Clara in Cuba. It's maybe 2 hours outside of Havana. So we made it to Santa Clara to see Che Guevara's graveyard. And she was just so happy. Actually, the Malia who arranged the trip for us is here from Big Island today. And usually the people just pass the little museum over there, but Marilyn and me, we just read every single thing. And my memory was, sorry, I get a little emotional. The last display was Che Guevara's last letter he wrote to Fidel Castro before he went to Bolivia, if you know the history. He never came back because he was captured and killed over there. But sounds like he already knew he won't come back. But it was a beautiful letter that was written in Spanish. But our translator, Esperanza, she became our great friend. She interpreted in English. And I remember Marilyn, cried a lot. But she was just so happy. Finally, she made it to Cuba. So today, for her, I put my Che Guevara's T-shirts. And I wore a dance hula for her. And she always loved Hawaii. She always tell me a lot of people moved away for different reasons, but she couldn't think of any other places she wanted to live. It's a beautiful place. People are beautiful. And she always loved. So I'm going to dance today, Hawaiian Lullaby. I think it talks about the beauty of Hawaii. Marilyn really loved. Thank you.
Where I live, there are rainbows, with life in the laughter of morning and starry nights. Where I live, flowers full of colors, and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing in this place that I love, where I live. There are rainbows and flowers full of colors, and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing in this place that I love, where I live. There are rainbows with life and the laughter of morning, and starry nights.
Mahalo Yumi. Marilyn was dancing with you, sister. That was beautiful. This event would not have been possible without the immense support of people involved, and we just need to acknowledge them. On behalf of Marilyn's friends and family, we would like to extend a big mahalo to those who helped create this celebration. The staff of the Waikiki Shell Amphitheater, Susan Ishizu and Kinetic Productions, Irish Barber, to Danny Rosner and Dean Desjardins of Hawaii Media Inc., to Ukla the Mock, 9-member band, for entertaining us with Marilyn's favorite music, soon to come up, so please don't go away. To Chris Childress for the band's equipment and sound gear. To Chris Wicking for the providing music, playback, and sourcing of Marilyn's favorite mele. To Matt Medeiros and David Sato for filming this event, capturing it all, and to Lisa Altieri for editing a video from the footage. A link will be provided in the near future. To Robert Tsuka for his big tent, and to Charlie Long of Private Security, both arranged by Angela Brett. To still photographer Ashley Smith, be sure you smile for her camera. To electricians Luke Thompson, Charlie Kramer, Rick Crum. To Lisa Lee Mitchell for the photo display, and those fabulous Marilyn buttons. To Adelina Suarez, manning the welcoming committee who supported Marilyn during her illness and the last days of her journey here. To Darren Kaneshiro, Brent Ambe, Lee Kaneakua, David Kranz, and Frank Mitchell. To Sunny Aldako of Sun Studio for designing the invitation to this gathering. To Amira Soliman for location signage. To Greensman Loa Wong. To Crafty Woody Kekueva, a special mahalo to Carlin Massini for the first to donate funds to help cover expenses in staging this event. And to Renee Confer, Camille Comine, and Dana Hankins. Mahalo piha. Mahalo. I'd like to take this honor to bring up to the podium Renee. There you are.
Hi, everybody. I just am very, very grateful as to all of us for being here to celebrate Marilyn. So she was my friend for 35 years, and I'm here to talk about how much she loved production. And I didn't know why, but I noticed in the last few months of her life, she told me on 2 different occasions how she was reminiscing about the good times, the people, the incredible adventures that we have, and we call it work. But she also felt she was very blessed that she lived the best time of our industry, which was when we had budgets, when we got to travel, we stayed in incredible hotels. Does anybody, I mean, I know there's some people out there that still get to do that. There's Diane Brown. So I just wanted to share that was really important to her, and to have this kind of event is beyond the scope of imagination for her. She loved music, as we all know, and that's why having it at the Shell, she's smiling in heaven. And I just wanted to say 2 things. One about the music, because I got to experience going to concerts with her. We went to Bob Dylan and, of course, Marilyn. I mean, I didn't know the new album, but she had the whole new album, and she had all the songs listed, and she told me the history of them all. I'm like, okay. So then, you go to you remember seeing her at the Stones, and she's dancing, and you see her with you, Sue Larkin, at Stevie Wonder. It was a birthday many years ago. Inner Circle came to town, and we went for my birthday. And at the end of the concert, because I liked a number of their songs, like Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do? She goes, you want to meet the band? I'm like, okay. And we walk up to the Blaisdell, we go on stage, and I got to say hello to the whole band. And I don't know how many people realize she was instrumental in bringing reggae to the islands, which turned into Hawaiian back before she was really in production. So I share that with us, and I laugh that we can never get her out of her house in March because of basketball. And in closing, I just want to say she will always be in the heart. Her niece Allison was sending us pictures in March, the family pictures. And I was sitting, we were in a ski resort, and I was receiving these pictures, and it's 30 degrees. And all of a sudden, I hear music at the pool. Well, who's swimming in 30-degree weather? Except some diehards. They never have music at the pool. And I'm like, Jerry, there's music. So we open the door, brush away the snow, and it was 3 little birds. And I was stunned, because for 3 weeks, and other years we go there, there's never music at the pool. And there was one more song played, and then there was no more music at the pool. 3 little birds. Thank you, Marilyn.
Mahalo. I'd like to call upon Darren Kaneshiro to have some stories to share.
Darren Kaneshiro, everybody, my classmate and a former colleague. I'm a sound mixer, VTR guy. Most of you guys know me that way. Loved Marilyn's spirit. That's all I can say. She was super mellow, super cool, super chill. Just carried that vibe through everything she did. Just that kind of reggae, live for the moment kind of thing, and I really appreciated that about her, and I'm glad I got to work with her, glad I got to know her, and glad to have called her a friend. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
Darren, no. Darren, stay with us. We were together as a team in the McHale days. And, I took my orders from Sue and Darren. And they introduced me. And I was totally open to it because obviously I respect these 2 people and I love them. And so I was introduced to Marilyn. I got to know Marilyn, and I'm just so blown away with everybody that's here and this event. And it really comes from love, but it also comes from some amazingly credible, respected people who respected Marilyn. She was an amazing lady. She had a Hawaiian heart. She had an incredible personality, but she had a gentle soul. And it was such an honor and a pleasure working with her on every single job. Your turn.
Okay.
I'm not speaking.
Yes,
okay,
you are.
okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Susan Ishizu, if you don't know. I've worked with Marilyn for many years, starting at McHale Video Film and then continuing at Kinetic Productions. She did location scouting for us and producing. But most of all, I just loved her happiness and spirit. And every time I would see her, it'd be like, Sue! And then she would also be like the first person at the kinetic party. She'd always be asking about my family, about my kids. And she never, every time we had some stressful jobs, and she never would stress out. She'd be like, don't worry, Sue, it's gonna be fine. And I'm like, okay. I know we're in good hands, but I'm gonna miss her so much. Her warmth, her happiness, her exuberance. I just wish we had more time with her. Thank you.
I guess I echo Susan, and I'll miss Marilyn for keeping me personally grounded, which, it's hard in this business. It's constant roller coasters. And, it's nice that, you have someone who can keep you calm. And, she did that for me personally a lot. So I'll definitely miss those moments with her. And I'll carry that with me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mama T, are you here? Hi.
Aloha, everyone. I had the pleasure and honor of being Marilyn's friend for about 2 decades. I know her from the reggae community, and I just want to say what a beautiful soul you all know. However, this woman was good vibes. She was an encyclopedia of foundation reggae music, but she could tell you all the local artists. She could tell you who was up and coming in Jamaica. Every time she saw me, it was like she hadn't seen me in so long, and she was exuberant, like, Mama T, what's good? But that's the good vibes that she brought. She embodied what reggae music, the foundation of one love and the message of one love. And Miss Marilyn embodied that everywhere she went, steadfast and true with that vibration. Not once did she come to me disgruntled, angry. She was just like good vibes. She was irie. And I'm so blessed that when my mama moved here, my mama became one of her best friends too, so it was so beautiful, and thank you for coming. And I just want to thank Ja Gumby and the Ookla the Mock crew, because this was one of her favorite bands. And she would not stop talking about Ja Gumby, a foundation reggae collector like herself. And so I'm so honored that she's in heaven celebrating with all of us, celebrating her on this glorious day of the celebration of her life. Thank you.
I'm Jane. I and my husband and I lived next door to Marilyn for 15 years. Walk up the steps and there's our door and Marilyn's door. And music emanating from her apartment to the horror and sometimes ire of the guy downstairs. She'd close the glass doors. She'd come to our house sometimes. We'd sit and drink wine together, and she did love our cats. She might not have loved those feral cats, but she loved ours. And sometimes ours would go out our door and go under her door, and still does. But Marilyn and we had exchanged keys, so I could sneak into her lanai and get our cat out. And now when we go to empty the trash, the cat's wanting to go, and I'll say, don't go to Marilyn's, but he always wants to go to Marilyn's. No music coming from Marilyn's right now, and it's sad. It's hard for me to see that door closed. When she had the hip replacement, she needed help having laundry done, and we actually have a wash machine in our apartment. So I would wash her clothes, and we don't use a dryer. We had them all spread out on the lanai. And I just love seeing all those baggy, like camouflage pants and Bob Marley t-shirts, and good old Marilyn. I would come in the last few months almost every day. It was sort of like a dormitory door open, go in and talk with her. And she would always, as people say, just greet me with such a smile and such enthusiasm. She knew everyone on the street, all the neighbors. She would say like, oh, Janice, and I'd say, who's Janice? She goes, the one who lives next to the laundry room. It's like, I don't, but she knew everybody. And she knew what was going on in the street. She knew if someone's bike had been stolen, or someone was sick, or if somebody was selling an apartment. If we needed information, Marilyn had it, because she engaged with everyone. She just so enthusiastically was interested in what was going on. I would come in her last few months and play ukulele to her, sing with her. I have the honor to tell you that even though she so loved Bob Marley, the last music she heard was me singing her repeatedly. Yumi and Allison had taken a break. I said, I'll be with Marilyn. I was holding her hand. They were out on the lanai. And I sang 3 songs over and over, and I watched her die in front of me, and she was peaceful. I sang, Hawaii Ponui, Hawaii Aloha, and now I'm nervous and I forgot the last one. What would it be? Oh, of course, Aloha Oi. And I sang those songs repeatedly, trying to get the attention. I didn't want to talk. I was just trying to nod to the lanai, like, come in. And I sang her away. Killer voice, right? But anyway, it was hard for me at first. I actually felt I had traumatic stress syndrome afterwards, because I had never actually held somebody as they died and watched it happen. But as these 6 months have passed, I've felt more and more at peace about giving her that gift. It was a gift of love for a woman who I truly loved. And I'm honored that I could give her that gift. Yumi and Allison did come in, and then we played Three Little Birds, so she got the best of both worlds. Okay.
Mahalo, everyone, to share your stories of Marilyn. And I just reflect what Lisa was saying earlier, that she was such a listener and such a teacher and just so giving of herself. She looked at you with sincerity, with sincere eyes, with a real smile. And she never told me, you should do this, you should do that. She taught us as a PA. And I take a lot from her, and we can only remember the way she was with people. Just wanted to, this poem seems to resonate with people. And it's On Death by Khalil Gibran from his book, The Prophet. Just a minute. You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide onto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? And what is it to cease breathing but to be free, to free the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. And when you have reached the mountaintop, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limbs, then you shall truly dance. And we all know she loved dancing. So without further ado, we all know Marilyn loved reggae music. And for some of us lucky to see her dance to it with restless abandon, we saw her so happy as she seemed to transport herself to another plane of happiness. So we are so fortunate today to enjoy this loved roots reggae band formed back in '97 in Palolo, Oahu. Let's give a warm aloha to Ukla the Muck.
Looking at the east, looking at the west, for what you were looking, looking at the north, looking at the south, but where you headed, you smiled to the east. My brother, my sister, to the east. Prepare the might of peace. Praise to the Father.